Hello, I'm Anelise Borges and you're watching Tech24. Coming up on the program, it's game on for Pakistan. In today's show, we bring you an unexpected success story, the Pakistani video game industry, and a wireless set of speakers for demanding ears. We put Logitech's UE Boom to the test. No other sector has experienced the same explosive growth as the computer and video game industry. Last year, a total of $15 billion was spent on video games in the US, where 58% of the population are players. But the story we're going to show you today comes from a different part of the world, not often associated to the gaming industry. Here's a look at how video games are being developed while helping to develop Pakistan.
It's a simple premise. You slice fruit, lots of it, and fast. The game is a global phenomenon, and it was born here in Pakistan's Lahore. Its creators, who launched their startup just 3 years ago, are exceptionally proud.
Fruit Ninja is downloaded almost 500 million times till today. And Jetpack Joyride has won many awards, including the Apple Design Award, Pocket Gamer Award. So we worked very closely with them on those two products, and we got them to multiple stores, multiple different devices. And yeah, that was one of the biggest things on our portfolio.
Could Pakistan's Punjab province be the next Silicon Valley? Computer game studios are flourishing here, and they aren't just programming games conceived overseas. They're creating and testing their own, made in Pakistan.
But it's not only just playing the games through and just taking out the bugs. It's also a lot of software testing as well.
This is a brand new sector that employs almost 25,000 people, men and women. The star of this Islamabad-based company is a game for smartphones called Dream Chaser.
Basically, his world is crumbling, and he has to collect these dreams to, fix his world.
Running a tech industry like this is no easy feat in Pakistan, where you're faced with constant power cuts, security threats, and corruption. But there are financial advantages.
The costs associated with developing a game are definitely very low compared to the West. So that's an advantage, but it comes with the disadvantages of not finding equally skilled people.
Like many video game programmers, Murad studied in California. But it's here in Lahore that he chose to set up his company.
There's a sense of belonging that I have here. I have family, I have friends. I wanted to actually give back to the community as well. And I thought, with especially the field I was hoping to get into, it would make no difference if I was here or if I was in the Valley or if I was in Japan.
With an IT sector now worth an estimated $2.8 billion, these new programmers could be changing the face of Pakistan's economy.
And Trista Bridges from the French tech news site Route Baguette joins me now. Trista, thank you so much for being with us today.
Sure.
What factors are behind this small but growing IT industry in Pakistan?
Well, as we just saw, it's a really exciting story in terms of what's going on there. There's several factors that are certainly driving the growth of the gaming industry there. First of all, it's simply things like outsourcing. The IT market is obviously becoming global, and lots of developed markets are looking to emerging markets for tech talent. So that helps the ecosystem as well. That helps get things going. So the IT market is certainly one of them, and one that's growing locally. Secondly, you also have the iPhone and tablets and that type of thing, and Android, that really have made a huge difference in terms of making developing video games cheaper and easier for people to do. We used to be in a world where video games were on consoles or those large machines that you would have at video arcades. We've obviously moved quite a bit away from that. Even if consoles are still a huge part of the market, the whole tablet, mobile gaming market is growing substantially. So that's also a very, very big trend. And then another thing too, there are still some things that are changing technically. For example, new development paradigms such as HTML5, which are actually changing kind of how people develop video games. And it's making it so that you don't have to develop a video game as an app. You could develop basically within the mobile browser. So that also makes it a lot easier, particularly in emerging markets markets where the smartphone penetration isn't necessarily as high. But there's certainly a lot of great trends and dynamics that are going on in there locally.
And what are some of the other up-and-coming video game markets that may come as a surprise to the public?
Oh, there's so many really interesting stories at the moment. The Philippines, for example, has a gaming association that's growing and has a big, great gaming conference every year. A lot of really interesting things that are supposedly coming out of that market. You also have Brazil, which is obviously a market that people really look at in terms of one of the biggest growing emerging markets globally. It's actually the 5th largest gaming market, apparently games market in the world. So Brazil is a really, really strong market. Turkey, that has 10 million gamers and is growing rapidly and substantially. And then you also, of course, have Eastern European countries as well, the smaller ones as well. Russia, actually, for a long time, has been a really exciting market for gaming. I don't know if I would say that it's emerging anymore. It's probably emerged. You have companies like Game Insight, that's a huge player in that market and doing extremely well. So there's so many markets that are now, we're not in a world where the granddaddy of gaming, Japan, that's developed so many incredible, wonderful games over the years, is the one that's basically holding all the cards. It's changing dramatically. Or the US, where we're seeing a lot of emerging markets that are starting to be able to play as well.
All right, well, thanks for that, Trista. We're going to move on now, because up next is Test 24. 360 degrees of impeccable sound. That's the promise of Logitech's new Ultimate Ears Boom. Trista tested it for us. What did you think? What's so special about the Ultimate Ears?
Well, there's a lot of wireless speakers on the market. But what makes this one special is that it's lifestyle resistant. So a lot of people who have mobile devices know that one of the biggest challenges is we drop them, we lose them, we spill things on them. And something that's nice about this is that you can do all of those things and it still works perfectly fine. So the cover for the UE Boom is actually made with a water-resistant material that's used in firemen's jackets. It's a solid PVC type covering, so you can drop it and it continue to work. So people who have children, etc., in the home, it's a very good device to choose.
In terms of the quality of the sound,
it's very, very good. As you'll see, especially the larger device, there's two devices, the larger one and the smaller one, which is the Mini Boom. But the concept is that it's 360-degree sound. So the way it's designed, you can hear the music from any point in the room. So we'll do a quick demo.
It's quite potent. It's quite
nice. So it's very, very loud, and you can control the sound either from your device, or you can control it from your mobile or tablet or computer as well.
And because it's wireless, you can actually even answer phone calls.
Yes.
with the speakers, right?
Exactly. And there's also a microphone within the speaker, which is a great feature as well. So you can do Skype calls, for example, with it. If the phone rings, it'll ring through your speaker as well. So it's a completely wireless system.
All right. Well, thanks for that, Trista Bridges from the Rude Baguette. Sure. And that's all we have time for. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of Tech 24. You can get in touch with us on Facebook or on Twitter. Our hashtag is Tech 24. And we leave you today with images of Touch by Jean-Baptiste Chandelier. Professional paraglider, designer, and test pilot, Jean-Baptiste takes you on an adventure in the skies of Santorini in Greece and Col de Galibier in Mont Blanc in the French Alps. Enjoy the ride, and I'll see you next week.